I am Donika.
And I am Myra, and this is a Black Women Healing Podcast.
A space to discuss mental wellness.
A space to dive into soul care and vulnerability.
Here, we will support you on your journey as you focus on your healing,
while also giving you the work along the way.
Welcome to Black Women Healing Podcast.
Hey y'all, so we are back with another episode of Black Women Healing Pod, and we have a special guest as usual today. To kick us off, we are going to engage in a discussion. I gotta think of something. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you could create like a local getaway, so you can't go more than an hour outside of where you live. If you could create a local getaway, what would that look like? Sorry, there's someone laughing in the background. Just being silly.
What is this? It's so many places. I have a whole list of places to try, of local getaways. Living in Los Angeles or living in like Southern California in general. I feel like I was just talking to you about this, Myra, about there's so much stuff to do in California.
So much, yeah.
We miss it. And so I oftentimes will travel to other states and other places when it's like literally kind of in your backyard. This is the place to be. And so I have a list of things to try. So I think the first thing I would want to do is maybe like a spa retreat somewhere. I know they have those. It feels like everywhere. But I'm trying to I forget what it's called. Jen something Z. I don't
Glen
know.
Ivy?
Glen Ivy.
The Love Bath?
Okay, maybe that's what it is. I know it's on my list. So I probably would do something like that first. And so that's probably not even an hour away, maybe 45 minutes or something.
Yeah.
From where I live, at least. Yeah. So maybe I'll try there. What about you, Myra? I mean, you've traveled a lot already, but where would you go?
I think I would go to there's actually this place, I think it's called Mother Den or Mama Den or something like that. But it's like this cute little spa place, and it's like near Marina Del Rey. So I think I would do Marina Del Rey. I would get somewhere that's really nice that overlooks that bay. And then I do something on the water, and especially in the summertime, because I know they have like this water boat that takes you around, and it's like $5. So I'd probably do that, and then go to that spa, and then eat in the marina, because it just makes the most sense, and everything's there, and I love bike riding there. So there, yeah. What about you, Jessica?
An hour away. So I've always wanted to go travel to like hot springs. And I haven't tried that yet. So probably somewhere like, Palm Springs, Yucca Valley, that area, to try like to immerse my body in nature, and just have that experience. I think would be really, really wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. Myra, have you been to a hot springs?
No, I have not. That's definitely on my list though.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, okay. So thanks for engaging in that random discussion. Myra is going to go ahead and introduce you.
Yes. So today's guest is Jessica. She's an award-winning community organizer, mindfulness life coach, and founder of JESSBEU, LLC. Her goal is to inspire the next generation of leaders who are committed to becoming the best version of themselves. She's helping individuals shift their mindset and provide mindfulness tools to implement in their daily lifestyle. So, Jessica, I always hear you talking about be gentle with your mental. And so I always wonder the backstory to that. So can you start us off with that?
Yes, well, one, just thank you guys for just having me on the podcast. And Myra, just thank you for always supporting me through the years that we've worked together. And honestly, Gentle with Your Mental was a download during the pandemic, but to also share with you all and also the listeners, are you being gentle with your mental is the question of my podcast. And so pre-pandemic, I was really inspired by the uprising of podcasts. I would listen to speakers such as 19 Keys, Gary Vee, Myleik, just which really captivated my own personal development. I was like, I think I could do this. Like, I'm a social butterfly. I like to talk to good people. And stories and things like that. And I have a unique story of myself. So I really began to tap into the podcast world. I studied it and did my own research, where that was really step one, for me. And then fast forward during the pandemic, 2 years later, I received an email for an invitation to Platt Flynn's podcast, and he was hosting something and including a giveaway. And so I'm always coming into like giveaways, like I got that confidence, I'm gonna win something, okay? And
Yes.
so I remember vividly that day. I was at my mom's house, and I was like, if I win this giveaway, which was a microphone for your podcast, I was like, I'm gonna start like this year, God. Like it's no more, sleeping on myself or anything like that. Like I'm just really gonna take that leap of faith. So once I did my prayer, and I actually ended up being one of the third persons that won the microphone of the day of that workshop. And from there, I was like, okay, God, like, please like, direct me to where I need to go. And, of the uprising of the social injustice that we were dealing with during the pandemic, um, my mom and myself was really just having, intimate moments where we're like, we gotta, like, she was really encouraging me, like, to start conversations. Um, and I was just like, but what would it be called though? Like, I need a title. And that moment, God spoke to me, and He was like, Ask, are you being gentle with your mental? And I was like, that's it. I was like, that's going to be the name of the podcast. I'm going to, you know, start building up my community. And so I really started on Instagram Live. I would just connect with some of my friends. I would go live with them. I would ask them how their creative process has been through during this, tough time, these challenging times, and where they're at now, and where they see themselves also too. And so it's my podcast really has people of all walks of life coming together to share about their mental health, about their creative well-being, and share their story. And so that's where Are You Being Gentle with Your Mental was born, and it has definitely been also a self-reflection moment for myself, where I ask myself to tap into things that I need to work on, and just continue to make sure that I'm putting my mental health first.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love hearing the backstories.
Mhm.
So we always ask that question just to get to know you a little bit more, but also how'd you create these things you're doing, right? These things. So being that you are someone in the wellness space, how do you ensure that you are still catering to your mental wellness?
Yes, thank you for that question, because it was really a great question, um, and I really had to build discipline over time. As I was sharing with my unique story, I'm the youngest of 14 of a blended family growing up. And so I always had to try to find myself in what was my unique way of doing what was right and doing what was well and catering to myself. And so over time, really, I would say during college, because I was independent, I was already living out on my own back in 2010. So I had to grow up. I guess if anything, I had to grow up really fast in this era, and I started intermediate fasting post college. So that really built up a routine for myself to start catering to things that I need to hear, to start listening to God, and not just to hear what I'm saying from the world, but really listening to spirit and what I needed to be guided with. And when it comes to my mental wellness, I'm making sure I'm also including time to rest. I think also when it comes to fasting, it's resting from things, to restore my energy, to restore my faith, making sure I'm tapping into. It might be going to the gym, right, to sweat it out and get and build up my strength, or it might be me going on for a nature walk and things of that nature. But I'm always ensuring that I do have wellness in my routines, in my weeks, or even just throughout my day, starting my day with praise, or starting my day with some good music, and just building up, the courage for that day. So I'm always making sure that wellness is for sure included. It's now become a lifestyle for me more than just a practice.
Okay, yes, that's beautiful. Lifestyle, mental illness lifestyle. I like that. Um, what would you say are some key differences in JESSBEU and other mindfulness practices or other, you know, businesses right now who are promoting that?
Yes, something that's very different with Just Be You. So I'm faith based. I My faith was confirmed at a very young age for myself, and I feel like when it comes to mindfulness and building a business through it, at least for myself, Just Be You is very spiritually driven. And also, I'm honoring my roots and my rituals and bringing that today. I was just having a conversation on this that we have to give back to that because I feel like it's been lost in time, and it is truly our time for us to be able to stand up and make sure that health is for all, that wellness is for all, and I'm making it very affordable. Some of the individuals that are having mindfulness through their business, it could be only in a studio space. But I'm making sure that also grassroots community organizations are also implementing wellness practices, or if not, then I'm stepping in to make sure that that also can be catered to community.
Wow, that's beautiful. As we talk about your work as a mindfulness coach, can you walk us through like what the time with you might look like, or kind of like paint a picture so that folks can understand more of like what their work with you would look like?
Yes, some of my services really do cater around sound bath meditations now. So that is a healing modality, an ancient healing modality, um, that I actually have my one of my sound bath, my singing bowls or sound bowls, if you would like to call them, here, which is I started working with that bowl 3 years ago, and I worked with the throat chakra. So when working with the bowls, I'm wanting to know where they're at in their life and some of the energies or aspects of part of life that they would like to begin to work on, and then incorporate those sounds and those frequencies, teaching them different chakras and the meaning, or might even the color, right? Um, Donica, I see you're wearing red, so you might be focused on grounding yourselves, and you're maybe in a time of wanting to figure out what's going to root you through the rest of August or things like that, right? So, incorporating colors in your clothes, incorporating eating fruitful colors, right? And vegetables that are having those colors. What I always what I always really do like to tend to also focus on is definitely the center of our body, which is our heart. That is an energy that you can place your hands on, right? And you can feel that energy and begin to have that relationship with your heart. Some of the things that might be experiencing that are hurt, and we begin to build a plan that can really support you, rather if it's weekly or if it is just this one session. You might just be needing that clarity and those um, just even those skill sets to begin to implement how to have a healthy heart, to have a healthy throat chakra, right? Communication, self-compassion, and things of that nature. And so really when it comes to some of my services as well too, rather than just mindfully coaching, I do work in the academic field. So I work with universities and colleges to have academic mindfulness workshops, and so one's actually coming up in a few weeks that I really look forward to. I'll be working with the African student programs of UCR, and then that session will be going over the wellness wheel, right? There's 8 dimensions of wellness, and we're tapping into what that looks like. And as a student, right, how you can make sure that that doesn't also get lost through time when you're, having those units and you're dealing with home stress and you work and all those things of that nature. And so, the workshops are very nice. I love to cultivate that space. As an alumni, I know that that was something very rare in my time. And so I do believe that I am the change that I want to see because I'm actually doing those steps. And so my work is very sacred and also very intentional. And I love truly what I'm doing. And I think that's what was something, that also could be very different from JESSBEU is that I'm making sure that this isn't just a moment, that this is a movement through time that can be appreciated and that can be understood on a very dynamic level.
I love that. It's not just a moment, it's a movement. And it's making me think about when you have certain experiences, how they replay in your head over and over. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from you. Yes, we have this time together, but you'll be able to reflect on it time and time again. And that's where healing really comes in, when we can later on, when we need to access something, we can access it.
Correct. And I do my best to, as a speaker, in enjoying these workshops, to also get brands on board to provide tools, right? To provide tools that they can, rather if it's something that they can use for self care, rather if it's, I'm getting them productivity sheets, something that can start building that discipline and having that pen to pad, because that was very helpful for me, right? My three P's were prayer, pen, and paper. I had to have to continue to pray for what I want, but also continue to write those downloads and those thoughts that I was getting to implement manifestation and things of that nature. And so I think, not even I think, I know that we can continue to support our scholars on a very large level. And I'm just glad that I'm doing the work now.
Yes, thank you for your work. Um, so you do a lot. I'm always seeing you doing a lot of things, from your community work to your advocacy for healing. I'm just wondering how you balance all these responsibilities, and yeah, how you're managing this.
Yes, I would love to share an inspirational quote by Michelle Obama. And she says, "Success isn't about how much money you make, it is about the differences you make in people's lives." And I feel that all of that, actually, what you shared, right? Community work, advocacy, and healing is just, it all coexists. Healing, as I shared with you all, I feel like that's within my DNA, that it is just now my time to show up in the world and honor my roots and honor my rights and practice these ancestral roots and make sure that that doesn't get left behind. And with the community work, I was born into community, born into such a large family, allowed me to experience the world before I even got the real world of friendships and business partners and things like that. But now I create business boundaries, personal boundaries, right? And now I've been able to learn how to place my energy and be intentional about where I can show up and where I can't. Because wherever I am going to show up, I'm going to show up as me. I'm going to show up truthfully, right? And I'm also going to show up with a full heart of gratitude to be in this moment, to be alive, to have my breath, to speak my truth, and also hear from others, and always be a student, to be open to learn. And so, with all these responsibilities that I may have, I definitely would say I thank my family. I've seen my family take on not only grinding every day and hustling and things of that nature, but to be versatile. To be versatile. My brother, actually, Josiah, that was his nickname, V, and was to be, versatile in everything that he can be. But with him naming himself, it also encouraged me to rename myself, and it was just the best. And it's not because I've hit my peak, but it's always because I'm progressing and I'm waking up every day. I'm thanking God for another life, another day that I can have new blessings, new insight, and new opportunities to not only build myself up, but as I'm climbing, I can lift up others who want it, right? Because I truly believe that you need to be true to who you want to be, but you also need to seek what is for you to do. And so, with all of these responsibilities, At times I definitely have, when like, life's hitting me, right, grief and things of that nature, I'm losing family members, or society, and things like that. You could be in moments of chaos, but I choose to be calm. I have the choice to like remove myself and be in my sacred place, right? Be in my home, get my things that actually make me feel calm again. And so, as I was sharing, this has been a discipline of years, if not only decades, that I've been doing the work. And everything's not always nice, right? Everything's not peachy, and things of that nature, but I know my mindset. I know that I don't want to be fixated on that, but I want to continue to grow and to truly be just the best.
Yes. I feel like I just watched a TED talk. I love that. Every piece of it. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I mean, you've shared a lot, dropped some gems, gave us a little TED talk. But if you could give some takeaways to our listeners, that could be something that you encourage us to work on, anything that comes to mind. What would you tell our listeners and us?
I mean, to definitely take an audit of your life. I think that's the same with like fast. Some people don't believe in fasting, right? So, but I would say take an audit of your life. What media are you consuming? What you're consuming, is it actually affecting? How is it affecting your wellness overall? You know, who's in your content circle, like your support group? Do you the people that are in contact with you, do they need to be in contact with you now? Do you need a break? Going through your social media and doing a cleanse, unfollowing people that are just no longer for you. I think that we get so tied in, like, oh, I met this person back when I was in high school and we were, well, where are we now? If it's not giving inspiration, if it's not giving empowerment, if it's not, serving you to a higher frequency, I would just say take an audit. For myself, I share that because I speak this because I also walk this life. I wouldn't share anything with you all that I don't haven't done myself. And I feel like with that information, I feel like a lot of people can talk the talk, but they don't walk that walk. And what I could say for myself is that I truly do. For myself, I'm actually preparing myself for a fast, for a cleanse. There's a lot of things that, as Black women, that we need to continue to heal from, and we're doing ourselves a disservice if we don't do that inner work. If we don't start to think about longevity, right? For me, if I can just share with you guys frequently, is that I've actually been in a process of wanting to understand what's best for me to eat, instead of just putting like a label, like, oh, I want to be a vegan, right? Because that was a whole thing. Like, I was like, when I'm at 30, I'm about to be a vegan, period. But then I was like, started getting educated, had friends that were herbalists and nutrition telling me that I actually really need to actually see my blood type. And your blood type will then help you share what you need to be eating to be right. And so I was like, wow, nobody's ever like broken it down to me like that. And I tell you right now, actually, as a Black woman standing here, that I was almost not even given the chance to get my blood work done. Like, the doctor was trying to tell me the opposite. Oh, it's not going to help you with your diet, and a nutrition's just going to tell you by book. So, and I was just like, why am I receiving this information? But staying very calm in a world that wants to bring chaos. And I got what I needed to get, and I got the truth. And so now I'm in a process of cleansing my blood and making sure I'm eating the right foods to be right. So I am taking an audit of my own life, right? And it could be frequently, or it could be when I'm feeling called to take that deep dive into my life, when I'm taking call to step away from social media and not following society rules, right? But my own life, I'm listening to my own divine spirit. So I encourage everyone to take an audit at their life. It could be quarterly, it could be monthly, it could be yearly, but definitely take that time to see what you're consuming, rather physically, what you're listening to, mentally, what you're downloading, what you're eating, and to just show up as your best self. And that's how we will continue to be better and we can have a healthy life if we actually choose, and if we actually know and know that we actually have a choice to choose that. So I want to share that with you all today, to definitely begin to do the work, the inner work, so that you can have that inner peace in this world. Because a lot of things, as we can see, the propaganda and the things of that nature are trying to put fear into us and not peace.
Yes. So thank you for leaving us with that takeaway. I think that's powerful in the sense of like community and Black women sharing this, like even you sharing this new information. I never heard of it. And so now I'm going to look into it, right? And so you sharing this information, then we'll, promote for other people to learn about it. And I mean, we've had episodes on like healthcare and how to promote your health. You have to advocate for yourself as Black women in the healthcare system in general, which sucks. But it sounds like that's the evidence of you being like, no, this is something that I want, and being able to get your results, and now you're getting to practice what you're trying to do for your wellness. So yeah, thanks for that. So we're hoping that our audience got as much as we got out of this episode, and we're hoping that they follow up with your brand. I know I've looked at your website and all the beautiful dope things you're doing. So thank you so much, Jessica, and you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday fun day. Kicked it off with you all, beautiful ladies, and the little ladies as well too in development. And so, thank you all for truly being beautiful. Black is beautiful, and let us continue to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves one day at a time.
Yes. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. Take care, you guys.
You too. All right, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. To wrap us up, I wanted to ask you, because I know you set out like, all right. I guess Shyla got
something to say. You got something to say. Tell us something, Shyla.
Okay.
You want to be quiet now.
No, she said something. I don't know what she said though. I know you set out like goals throughout the year, so I'm wondering what goal you're working on for the month of August. Mine's is I'm trying to read this book that I got that's supposed to be really good. I cannot be consistent with it. I'm trying. So what goal are you working on?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know that this month or the August, word intention of the month was like assertive communication. So I still haven't picked exactly which assertive communication I want to do and like in which context or whatever, but that's the goal, like to try to continue practicing that. I do practice assertive communication in general, but I don't think at this point it's kind of like a unconscious thing, but I want to be intentional about it and see how it feels and what happens when I'm like, this is me being intentional about what I need and what I want from something or someone, So that's what I'm gonna do.
Speaking of intentionality, I want to intentionally go see Mary J. Blige in concert, y'all. She is on tour right now. Well, she started tour in September, and everybody says she is so good. And I want to go.
And she looked good. Like she really looked good like that in person. Like her body is amazing. Like she looks like, I don't know. Like I can't. Black women, I can't with y'all. I can't. In those boots. The boots.
But it's gonna be you though. So what you mean?
Hopefully. Hopefully. I pray for those good genes. But you gotta work with what you get. But those the boots just make her look even better.
I got the boots to wear. You want
to wear the boots too?
Like, yeah, I want to go.
That would be dope. It would be dope. But like, I feel like, I would go see her. But I feel like the people she's having is Queen Naja and who else with her?
I don't know. She's having people with her.
Yeah, but even by herself, she's a beast. I
want to see her by herself. I don't really want to see no other people.
Oh dang! I highly recommend Mary J. Blige. So you should do it if you can, and wear your boots.
And wear your boots.
Go Mary.
Okay. I feel like she's the only person I haven't seen in concert that I really. Oh no, I really want to see. We were just talking about this. Oh, Charlie Wilson. Her and Charlie Wilson are like the only two people I haven't seen that I want to see.
Absolutely. We gotta find him.
One day. But yeah. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Black Women Healing Pod. Be sure to tune in every Monday as we drop new episodes. And we have some dope stuff coming soon, so stay tuned.
So y'all, we have to shout out our friends over at Fiverr. We are officially a Fiverr affiliate, and I love Fiverr because you can literally go to them for any type of project you might want to work on, whether it be if you need a new logo, you need help with the resume, you need help with social media, they help you over there. So go ahead and check out our friends over at Fiverr. That's 5ERR. So 5 with 2 R's at the end. So go ahead and check them out with the link in our bio and tell them that we sent you.